I smiled as Emily passed the mashed potatoes to Mom, her eyes glowing. "So, have you decided on your dress yet?" Mom asked, sipping wine. "Thinking of something blue," Emily said. "That classy, but not boring." Dad chuckled. "Too short?" "Either, Dad." She rolled her eyes, laughing. "It's graduation, not a club night." Layla laughed softly beside me. "Whatever you wear, you'll look amazing." Her hand squeezed mine under the table. I squeezed back, trying not to get lost in the warmth of this fake perfection. Everything looked normal. Chicken roast, candlelight, and family chatter. But something about the way Emily kept glancing at Layla made my stomach twist. Emily cleared her throat, setting her fork down. I have some news." "Oh," Mom said. "You got the job interview?" Emily's fingers trembled. "No, I'm pregnant." The clatter of cutlery stopped. Silence dropped like a curtain. "What?" Dad said. "I'm pregnant," she repeated. 12 weeks. Mom's wineglass slipped from her hand and hit the plate. Red streaks ran across the white tablecloth like blood. "You're kidding," Dad whispered. I turned to Layla. She looked frozen, eyes wide. Breath shallow. "Emily," Mom whispered. "Is it a student? Someone from school?" "No." Emily bit her lip. "It's someone we all know." I felt a knot in my chest begin to tighten. "Who?" Dad asked. She looked at me. "Not the me." And then her eyes drifted to Layla. "What?" I whispered. "No, you're not saying," Emily's voice cracked. "It's her, Layla." "No," I said again. "You mean Layla's brother, or what are you saying?" "Layla's..." The voice came out like a broken echo. "I'm sorry." "What did you just say?" My voice turned sharp. "I didn't mean for it to happen," Layla said. "It was a mistake." "A mistake?" I pushed my chair back, but I couldn't move. Legs refused. "You slept with my sister?" I didn't plan it," Layla stammered. "We were both drunk." "It was one time," Emily whispered. "It wasn't just one time." Layla turned to her, eyes wide. "Emily, stop." "You said you loved me," Emily said softly. My head spun. "You what?" "I didn't love her," Layla snapped. I was confused. My hands were shaking. "You were my fiancé, Layla. I know. I messed up." Mom finally found her voice. "You too. This is disgusting. You ruined this family." "I didn't mean to," Layla cried. Dad stood, his voice thunder. "You're both adults. How could you be so reckless?" Emily covered her face, tears spilling through her fingers. "Stop crying," I muttered. "You don't get to cry. Not tonight." "Please," Layla begged. "Please, look at me." I looked. I wish I hadn't. Her eyes, once my safe place, now looked like lies. "How long?" I asked. Layla froze. "How long?" I yelled. "For months," she whispered. I laughed. It came out sharp, bitter. "So even before the engagement..." She nodded slowly. "So the woman I was going to marry was screwing my sister behind my back." "Ethan," Mom said gently. "No, don't try to soften this. She destroyed everything." Layla reached out. "Please." I pulled my hand away. "Don't touch me. You still love me," she whispered. "Don't you dare." I stood. "Don't you dare use that word." "Ethan, please," Emily said. "Deserves to know everything." "Think I know enough," I said coldly. "Trusted most," stabbed me in the back. "We didn't plan it," Layla sobbed. "You did it," I snapped. "That's all that matters." Dad looked exhausted. "Son, maybe we should talk about this later." "There's nothing left to talk about." "Where are you going?" Mom asked, as I walked toward the door. "Somewhere I can breathe." "Please don't leave like this," Emily called after me. I paused at the door. "Shh. You didn't just ruin a relationship, you destroyed this family. Congratulations." And then I walked out of that house, out of that life, out of everything I thought was real. I didn't scream, didn't throw anything. I just walked out. No jacket, no phone. Just my car keys and the weight of what I had just heard. I drove for hours without knowing where I was going. When I finally got back to my apartment, I didn't turn on the lights. I just sat on the floor in the dark. My phone buzzed for the 50th time, Layla, then Emily, then Mom. I turned it off. I didn't want to hear anyone's voice, not after what they did. The next morning, someone banged on my door. Ethan, it was Jordan. Open the door, man. I know you're in there. I didn't answer. More knocking. I brought food, a baseball bat in case you were planning. To break something stupid, I cracked the door open. You brought what? Egg rolls? And emotional support? I sighed and let him in. Place looks like crap, he said, dropping the bag on the counter. I feel worse than it looks. I raised an eyebrow. Already? My sister's friend's cousin is dating some guy who was at your parents' dinner. It's all over group chats. You know how it is. Sat at the kitchen table, so now I'm the clown. Of the family? Jordan slid the food toward me. No, man. You're the guy who got hit by 2 buses and still walked away too, I asked. He looked at me, Layla and Emily. I gave a bitter laugh. Right. We sat in silence for a minute. You want to talk about it? He asked. No. You want to punch a wall? I already did. Last night, bathroom drywall. Fair enough. I got up, walked to my room, and pulled open the drawer. The ring sat there, silent, stupidly shiny. Still, in its little box like nothing ever happened, I held it out. I was going to propose next week. Jordan took it gently. Damn, it's beautiful. Yeah, so is she. He looked at me for a long second. You want me to throw it? Out? No, I said quietly. Not yet. Planning to give it to someone else? Planning to forget I ever bought it? He nodded. Fair. I dropped back onto the couch. She didn't even look guilty. Neither of them did. Jordan sat beside me. People like that, they always think they have time to explain. Apologize. Spin it their way. She begged, I said. Tears, promises, the whole act. You believe any of it? Shook my head. She said it was a mistake. But Emily said it wasn't just one time. Even if it was once, it was your sister. I trusted both of them, I said, with everything, and they shattered it. I covered my face. How do you even move past something like this? You don't. Not right away. You bleed first, then you bandage, and maybe one day you forget the scar. That sounds stupidly poetic. I'm trying here, man. I gave a small smile. Thanks. Jordan leaned forward. Let me ask you something, yeah? You still love her? I hesitated. I don't even know who she is anymore. That's not a no. I hate her, I said. But I hate myself more for missing her. He nodded slowly. That's the poison. Missing someone who killed your soul. I rubbed my eyes. Everyone's calling me selfish. Mom says I should at least talk to them. You're not selfish. You're hurt. She's still my sister, Jordan. Yeah, and Layla was going to be your wife. They both made a choice. I stared at the ceiling. You think they're happy? Tonight? No. Eventually, maybe. But only if they're heartless. I sighed. I can't go back to that house. Don't. Stay here. Lock the door. Block their numbers. Heal. I picked up my phone again. 23 missed calls. 1 voicemail. You're gonna listen to it, aren't you? Jordan asked. I shouldn't, but you will. I played it anyway. Layla's voice was shaky. Ethan, I'm so sorry. Please just talk to me. I'm going crazy. I didn't mean to hurt you. I love you. Please don't shut me out. I ended it. She sounds broken, Jordan said. Good. You want revenge? No, I said. I want peace. He smiled. That's worse. Revenge is quick. Peace takes power. I stood up. Help me put that ring away. Jordan followed me back to the drawer. Put it back inside. Buried it under some old receipts. Feels weird, I said. Like a funeral, Jordan said. Yeah. Except no one brings flowers when love dies. I looked around the apartment. Quiet, cold. Thanks for coming, I said. You'd do the same for me. Would I? I joked. He laughed. You're a terrible friend, but I like you anyway. I sat back down, finally feeling like I could breathe again. Not healed. Not okay, but breathing. I sat at my desk with 2 blank sheets of paper and a pen that didn't know when to stop. Dear Emily, you were my little sister. It's my shadow, my secret keeper. You destroyed me. I scratched the words out, flipped the paper, tried again. You knew. You knew she was mine. Tore that one too. Next page. Dear Layla, I would have given you everything. I almost did. And you gave yourself to her. Crumpled, tossed. You writing a book? Jordan asked, leaning against the doorway with a coffee in his hand. Nope, I muttered. Just bleeding onto paper. Productive? I held up the shredded pieces. Therapeutic. He walked in. You planning to send any of them? Never. Then why write them? 'Cause I can't scream at them. Jordan nodded. Want me to scream for you? I smiled weakly. You're not that good at rage. He sat down beside me. Fair. I'm more of a supportive, sarcastic type. I stared at the last uncrumpled page. It's blank again. You want to talk to your mom? He asked. I sighed. I have to. You don't owe her anything. She didn't betray me. He raised an eyebrow. She's still trying to fix what's already burned. I know. But she's my mom. She'll probably say the word forgive within 5 minutes. She already did, I said. He chuckled. Called you? 3 times yesterday. Gonna go? I nodded. Yeah, better get it over with. Jordan clapped me on the back. Need me to come? No, this one's mine. Mom's house smelled like rosemary and false hope. She opened the door with a soft smile and puffy eyes. Hi, sweetheart. Hey. She pulled me into a hug. I let her for 3 seconds, and I stepped back. Come in. I made tea. I followed her to the kitchen. The same table where it all exploded sat there like a grave. She poured the tea, then sat across from me. How are you sleeping? She asked, like someone who got stabbed in the back. She winced. I deserved that. You didn't do anything? I didn't stop it either. I sipped the tea. You couldn't have known. I suspected something was off, she whispered. Then why didn't you say anything? Because I didn't want to believe it. Sat in silence. She stirred her tea even though there was no sugar. Emily hasn't left her room in days. Didn't respond. She's hurting too. She should be. She's still your sister. I set my cup down, harder than I meant to. Mom, don't. You used to protect her, and she used to love me. She still does. She has a funny way of showing it. Mom's eyes filled. You've always had a good heart. Don't let this harden it, I leaned back. I'm not the one who changed, Mom. They did. She made a mistake. No, I snapped. A mistake is forgetting someone's birthday. Sleeping with your brother's fiancé multiple times isn't a mistake, it's a choice. She looked away. I didn't come here for excuses, I said. Then why did you come? I hesitated. To see if anyone still lives in this house without wearing a mask. She blinked at that. I loved Layla, I said. I loved Emily. I didn't think I could lose both in one night. You didn't lose me, she whispered. I hope that's true. She reached for my hand. I let her take it. I want you to forgive them. Why? I asked, because you won't heal if you don't. I won't heal if I pretend nothing happened. She wiped her eyes. So what now? I don't know. I'm trying to get through one day at a time. She nodded. In the letters. What? Used to write letters when you were upset, since you were little? I smiled faintly. Still do? Did you send them? No. Why not? Because they weren't meant to be read. They were meant to be written. She reached into her pocket and pulled something out. A folded note. My handwriting. I found this in your room after you left for college. You never mailed it to me. Took it, opened it slowly. Paper had yellowed slightly. Dear Mom, I'm scared I'll fail. But I know if I do, you'll still love me. That's why I'm okay. I looked up. You kept this? Every word. I stood. I should go. She stood too. Promise me something? I can't promise forgiveness. Promise you won't. Let this destroy you. I nodded. She hugged me again. This time longer. I love you, she whispered. I love you too, Mom. Back home, I lit a candle and watched the wax drip down the side. The last letter I wrote lay untouched on the table. For once, I didn't tear it. I folded it neatly. Then I burned it. Some things are meant to be felt, not shared. And maybe that's how I'll move on. Close your eyes, I told her. She laughed again. Trust me, her fingers gripped. Mine, I already do. We walked slowly up the hill, her favorite spot. The same place we'd first kissed. The breeze was soft. She was glowing. I remember thinking, God, she's everything. Can I open them now? She asked, half smiling, not yet. I guided her a few more steps. Okay, now. She opened her eyes. The hill overlooked the city. Sunset painted everything in gold. A small picnic blanket sat under the tree. Her favorite wine, her favorite chocolate. Her favorite playlist humming low from my phone. Her mouth parted in surprise. Ethan, this is beautiful. You remember this place? She nodded slowly. Of course. This is where you stole my fries on our first date, and you threatened to call the police. She grinned. I still should. We sat down. I poured her wine. My fingers shook slightly. She didn't notice. I've been thinking, I began, voice tight. About what? She looked down. Okay. I love you, I said. More than I thought I could love anyone. She reached across and touched my cheek. I love you too. I want this forever, I whispered. She leaned in and kissed me, soft and slow. Everything in me said, do it now. I reached into my coat pocket. The ring box was there, cold, perfect. Before. I could pull it out, she asked. Do you ever think we're rushing things? My hand froze. What? I asked. She laughed nervously. Not in a bad way. Just, everything's moving so fast. Do you want it to slow down? No, she said quickly. Sometimes I feel like you see more in me than I am. I see all of you, I said. The best and the worst. She looked at me strangely for a moment. What? I asked. Nothing. You just always say the right thing, I smiled. That's because I mean it. But I didn't propose that night. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. But something about the way she said, you see more in me than I am, stuck now. Sitting alone weeks later, I replay that night over and over, her smile, her hesitation. The way she stared out at the city, like something was pulling her far away from me. Jordan's voice cut through my memory. You okay? I didn't turn. You ever think someone loved you? But they didn't. Sitting beside me on the balcony. Why? Because I was going to ask Layla to marry me that night. Now I don't even know if she ever really loved me. He exhaled slowly. What makes you think she didn't? She said all the right words, did all the right things. But now that I know what she was hiding, you question everything. Every second. I glanced over at him. Was I just a backup plan, Jordan? Was I just easy? Safe? No, he said. We're good. And people like her, they take good things for granted. I clenched my jaw. I brought her here. I planned it all. I was shaking when I held that ring. You still have it? I nodded. Haven't touched it since. You gonna sell? It maybe, or throw it into the ocean? He laughed. Dramatic. I stood up. She looked so happy that night. She probably was. Then why cheat? I said sharply. Why lie? Jordan paused. Because people can be happy and still selfish. That doesn't make sense. Neither does what she did. I paced the balcony. I keep thinking, did she ever plan to tell me? Or was she going to marry me and keep screwing my sister behind my back? Jordan didn't answer. I bet she smiled at me in the mirror while thinking about her. He sighed, Ethan. I feel like a joke. I snapped. What? Like the entire relationship was a performance. You're allowed to be angry. I'm not angry, I said. I'm livid. Jordan raised an eyebrow. That's still anger. I gave her everything, man. I trusted her. I brought her to my mother's house. I treated her like family. She spit in your face. Worse, I said. She smiled while doing it. Jordan looked at me seriously. So what now? Stared at the city lights. I don't know. You moving on? No, I'm moving through. Difference. One means pretending it never happened. The other means carrying the weight until I don't feel it anymore. Jordan nodded. You'll get there. Don't want her back. Good. Want her to regret it? Every single day.
He didn't argue. I walked back inside, went to my drawer, pulled out the ring box, held it, opened it. It still sparkled like it meant something. I closed it and set it down. She never deserved it.
Did? Jordan said quietly. And for the first time since the dinner, I believed him. My phone buzzed at 10:13 a.m. Mom, please come to Emily's baby shower, just for an hour. She misses you. I didn't reply. 10 minutes later, another buzz. Mom, Layla will be there. I thought you should know. Of course she would. I threw the phone across the bed and stared at the ceiling. The quiet in my apartment was the only thing I could control now. I opened Instagram like an idiot. There they were, balloons, cupcakes, pink streamers. A glittery banner read it's a girl, and underneath it, Layla's hand was resting gently on Emily's belly. The same hand that used to wear the ring I buried in a drawer. I locked the phone and stared out the window. You okay? Jordan asked, standing in the doorway with a cup of coffee. Do I look okay? You look like you want to punch the sun. I just saw the baby shower pictures. He took a slow sip. And Layla's touching Emily like they're proud of what they did. They are, he said. People don't post guilt. I should have gone. No, you shouldn't have. Why not? I asked. It's still my niece. Also your wound, he said. And you don't walk barefoot over broken glass just because someone left the door open. I sat down. Mom wanted me there. She's still hoping this family can glue itself back together. She thinks time heals betrayal. Jordan nodded. It doesn't. Effort does. And you're the only one making it. I ran my hands through my hair. I hate that they get to smile while I sit here bleeding. They don't get to smile forever. I want revenge. Then what do you want? Peace, I said. Real peace, not the kind that looks good in photos. Jordan walked to my desk and picked up my calendar. You've scheduled yourself into insanity. Work helps. It also hides. I stared at him. Want to hide? I just need purpose. Building your business is good, but make sure it's not just scaffolding for your pain. I'm not running. He looked at me. Then go for closure. I'm not ready. Then don't text. Don't post. Don't explain. Just build. That's what I'm doing. Jordan pointed to the whiteboard behind my desk. 5 new clients in 2 weeks. You're grinding. I need to. Then grind. But do it for yourself. Not because you're trying to prove something to people who don't deserve your energy. I exhaled. It still hurts. Of course it does. You don't rip love out of your life and walk away clean. I stared at the floor. You think I'll ever stop caring? Yes, he said. The day you wake up and forget it was the shower you skipped? I cracked a smile. That's poetic. Don't get used to it. The next morning, I opened my laptop and stared at the blank screen. No pity, no pain, just strategy. I started writing copy for a new campaign by noon. I had closed a deal. By 4, 2 more. Every click of the keyboard felt like a step forward. Jordan came in at 7 with pizza. How's the empire? Breathing, he grinned. You're getting dangerous again. Lean back. Feels good. You know what I like? He said, taking a bite. You didn't let that shower define your day. I almost did, but you didn't. I pulled out my phone and scrolled past the shower pictures. This time, I didn't feel rage, just distance, like they were characters in someone else's story now. You know what I realized? I said, what? I don't need closure from them. He nodded, because you're building it yourself. Exactly. Jordan raised a slice. 2 skipped showers and new beginnings. I tapped mine to his. Into doing better without them, we laughed. Genuinely this time, and for once. I didn't feel broken. I felt free. I stared at the suit hanging on my closet door. Dark navy. Sharp lines. Still had the tag. Today was supposed to be the day. You gonna wear it? Jordan asked from behind me, thinking about it. You sure that's healthy? I don't know. He walked in, arms crossed. You don't have to prove anything, man. I'm not proving. I'm ending. Paused. Closure, something like that? I reached for the suit and laid it on the bed. Jordan watched quietly. You really gonna go to the venue? Just for a minute? You want me to come? No, I need to do this alone, okay? He said. But take your phone, just in case you decide to burn the place down. I almost smiled. No promises. Put the suit on. Still fit perfectly. The tie was a little stiff. I stared in the mirror, adjusting it like it mattered. This is insane, I muttered. But I couldn't stop. I drove in silence. No music. Just the hum of the engine and my heartbeat. Banging in my chest. The venue was quiet. Deserted. A few leaves scattered on the walkway. I walked in, half expecting someone to stop me. No one did. It still smelled like flowers and champagne. I stepped. Into the main hall, rows of empty chairs. A white arch with fake roses still tied around it. I walked to the front and stood exactly where I was supposed to, where she should have been walking toward me. Instead, I was alone, and strangely it felt. Right. I pulled a small candle from my coat pocket. Jordan thought it was weird, but I knew why I brought it. I placed it on the floor in front of me, lit it with a match I almost forgot I had. The flame flickered. Soft and steady. I'm not here to mourn you, I whispered. I'm here too. Bury what you did, the silence echoed. I loved you, Layla. God, I loved you. I sat on the steps of the altar. You were supposed to be my home. My forever. The flame moved a little, like it was listening. But now, all I see is a shadow where you stood. I pulled out the small note I had written weeks ago, the vows I never got to speak. I unfolded it slowly, Layla. I read aloud. From the essay. The moment you smiled at me, I knew I was in trouble. You made me believe in love again, and I wanted to be your safe place, your anchor. You're always. I paused. I was ready to promise you the rest of my life. I held the paper over the candle. It caught fire quickly. Burned. Fast. Ashes dropped like snowflakes. I didn't flinch. I sat there until the last. Edge turned black. That was the moment I let her go. Not because I forgave her, because I needed to survive. The door creaked behind me. I didn't turn. Footsteps, Ethan. It was Mom, of course. I stood, brushing ash from my palms. You followed me? I called Jordan, he told me. I sighed. Of course he did. She looked around. It's quiet here. It's supposed to be. She saw the candle. Lit it for her? No. I lit it for me. She nodded. You always held on too tightly to people, and they always let go first. She walked up beside me. Why come here? To let it die properly. She placed a hand on my shoulder. I'm proud of you for skipping my wedding, for facing it. Most people would have buried it under work or alcohol or someone new. I thought about all three. She smiled faintly. But you chose to feel it. I didn't want it to control me anymore. It won't. I turned to her.
Hows?
Emily, quiet, regretful, but still a mess. And Layla. She hesitated. She cries more than she admits. She asks about you. She lost that right. I know, she said softly. But she's still human. So am I said. But she never treated me like one. You think you'll love again? I stared at the candle. I don't know, but I think I'll be okay. She kissed my forehead like she did when I was a kid. You're stronger than you think. I looked around one last time. This was never going to be my wedding. It was always going to be my funeral. A funeral for what I thought love was. I blew out the candle and I left. Nice place, Jordan said, stepping into my new living room. No wedding photos, no memories, no ghosts. I like it. I like the quiet, I replied. He dropped a bag of takeout on the kitchen counter, and the view's decent too. Companies. All right, I said, half smiling. You sure you're okay living alone? He asked. I'm not alone. I've got my laptop bills and an unhealthy obsession with productivity. Jordan raised an eyebrow. Still haven't let yourself breathe, huh? I poured us both coffee. Breathing's overrated. You keep working like this. You'll be a millionaire by 5. Then I'll finally be good enough for someone who doesn't cheat. He winced. Too soon. Not anymore. We sat in silence, sipping slowly. Jordan leaned back. What? You. Dating? I shrugged. Tried, and they weren't her. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's just a thing. You still miss her? No, I said too quickly. I miss who I thought she was. That's fair. But every time I get close to someone, I feel like they'll walk out or worse lie with a smile. Jordan nodded. That'll fade. Eventually, I hope so. He looked around. You got space in this place? Ever think about? Kids, I laughed. You offering yours? He grinned. Hell no. Mine are gremlins, but seriously, you ever consider it? I stared at the ceiling. I don't think I have enough heart left to give. Jordan stood. You've got more than... You think? 2 months later, I met her, Mia, 4 years old, quiet, big eyes that had seen more than they should. She sat across from me at the agency. Like I was a stranger she didn't trust yet. I didn't blame her. Hi, Mia, I said gently. I'm Ethan. She didn't answer. Just hugged her stuffed bunny tighter. The social worker leaned in. Would you like to show Ethan your drawing? Mia hesitated, then slowly slid a piece of paper across the table. A house, a sun, a little. Stick girl with brown hair and a smile too wide for her face. That's beautiful, I said. Is that you? She nodded barely. Who's this? I pointed to the taller stick figure beside her. She looked at me. That's who I hope gets me, I swallowed hard. Can I be that person? She didn't answer. But she didn't pull the drawing away either. The first night she stayed in my house, I barely slept. She clutched her bunny and slept on the far edge of the bed, like the world might shift and throw her off. I laid there in the dark, listening to her breathe. The next morning she was in the kitchen before me. Can I have toast? She asked softly. Absolutely, I said. With butter? Or jelly? Both, she said with a tiny grin. Progress? Jordan came over that weekend. She's cute, he said, watching her stack building blocks. She's a tornado, I whispered back. A quiet, well-behaved tornado, smiled. She yours? Now, still going through the process, but yeah, I hope so. She seems happy. She hums when she eats. Jordan raised his eyebrows. You're smiling. I hadn't noticed. She changed something in you, man. She made me want to care again. He nodded slowly. She's good for you. She doesn't expect anything. She just exists. Fully. Honestly. You're rebuilding. One piece at a time. Weeks passed. Mia painted the wall with her crayons. I didn't get mad. She sang off key in the car. I sang with her. She called me E. Then one night she whispered, Dad? Froze, is that okay? She asked. I knelt beside her. It's more than okay. She hugged me so tight I couldn't breathe. And for the first time in years, I didn't want to let go. That night I sat on the balcony while Mia slept. Jordan called. You sound different, he said. How so? A lighter, I think I'm... Okay, no rage? Nope. Not even for Layla. Haven't thought about her in weeks. He whistled. That's healing? No, I said. That's Mia. He was quiet for a second. You're a good dad. I'm trying. She sees it. So do I. And for once I didn't feel broken. I felt whole. The knock came just after sunset. I wasn't expecting anyone. Mia was on the floor coloring. I told her to stay put and opened the door, and there she was, Layla, holding a baby, my niece. Her eyes were swollen. Her arms trembled slightly under the weight of the child. Hi, she said softly. I leaned against the doorframe. Wrong house, Ethan? Please, didn't think I'd see you again? She looked down. I didn't know where else to go. I crossed my arms. Is that Emily's baby? She nodded. Her name's Ivy. And where's Emily? She left, she said. Just packed up and walked out. Said she couldn't handle it. I raised an eyebrow, so she handed you the mess. She said I owed her. I snorted. She got that right. Layla swallowed hard. But I can't do this alone. I looked past her at the baby. She looked just like Emily did when we were kids. Same cheeks, same serious eyes. You want money? No, she said quickly. A job. I blinked. A job. I heard you were doing well. Jordan told someone I thought maybe. Want me to hire you? She nodded. As what? A nanny? I nearly laughed. You want to be the nanny to my daughter? Yes, she whispered. That's rich. I'm serious. So am I. She rocked Ivy gently. Out. I don't want. Charity? I just need a second chance. You already got a second chance? I said. You took it with my sister? She looked like I slapped her. I'm sorry, she said. I really am. I studied her face, tired, hollow, like life had finally slapped her back. Mia appeared behind me. Who's that? I turned. What? Someone I used to know. Layla crouched. Down, hi, I'm Layla. Mia hid behind my leg, which is loud, she whispered. I smiled. She is. Layla stood again. Ivy's good with other kids. She barely cries. That makes one of you. I deserve that. I leaned on the door. Why now? I'm drowning, Ethan. Emily dumped her baby on me and disappeared. I haven't slept in days. I don't have help or a job or anyone. I paused. You remember the hill? I asked. Her face dropped. Yes. That was the day I almost proposed. She nodded slowly. I kept that ring in a drawer for months. I didn't know. She whispered. I don't care. She looked down again. I should say no, I said. I should slam this door and tell you to figure it out. But you won't, she said. Because you're not like me. She was right. I stepped aside. Come in. She stood awkwardly. In the living room, rocking Ivy, while Mia eyed her like a tiny detective. Where's Ivy gonna sleep? Mia asked. We'll figure something out, I told her. Maybe the guest room. Mia nodded. She smells like milk. Layla smiled. Faintly, she's always leaking. Gross, Mia said, walking off. I turned to Layla. She's honest. She's sweet. She saved me. Layla looked at me. Glad you found something real. I didn't answer. She set Ivy down in the carrier and sank into the chair like she'd been holding her breath for weeks. I don't expect you to forgive me, she said. Good. I just want to work. You'll be paid hourly. No handouts. I wouldn't take them. You'll handle diapers, bottles, tantrums, and schedules. I can do that. You'll follow my rules. No crossing lines, I understand. We're not here to fix anything. I'm not trying to. We stared at each other. You're staying in the guest room, I said. Okay. Breakfast at 7. No drama. Got it. Don't confuse this for kindness. I won't. I'm hiring you because I have a plan. She hesitated. What kind of plan? You'll see. Later that night, Mia tugged my sleeve. Why is she here? Because sometimes even people who break things need a job. Do you like her? No. Mia tilted her head. Then why let her stay? I smiled softly. Because sometimes the best way to heal is to let them see what they lost. Mia grinned. You're smart. I try. We watched Ivy sleeping in the carrier. Layla asleep beside her, finally still, and I realized. This wasn't revenge. This was power. Mia, hold still. She won't let me brush her hair, Layla called from the hallway. I sipped my coffee. That's because you're using the scary brush. Layla sighed. What's the scary brush? The red one? She thinks it's evil. Mia ran into the kitchen. It is evil. I smirked. Use the purple one. Layla appeared in the doorway, frazzled and holding both brushes. This is insane. Welcome to parenting, I said. She walked back toward the room, muttering something under her breath. By noon, Ivy had spit up twice. Mia had painted the kitchen table, and Layla had begged for silence with her eyes, at least 10 times. Lunch. I asked. Layla looked up from the floor where she was wiping Ivy's hands. Please. I handed her the sandwich. Turkey, no mayo. You still hate it, right? She paused. You remembered. I remember everything I wish I could forget. She didn't answer. Mia tugged on my sleeve. Can I have juice? I handed it to her. She turned to Layla. You want some? Layla blinked. Sure. Mia grinned. I share now. Progress, I said. Layla watched Mia climb into my lap. She loves you. She trusts me. She's lucky. No. I said I am. That night, after bath time, Layla stood at the sink, drying bottles. She cried for 2 hours, she said. Non-stop. She does that, I replied, folding laundry on the couch. I forgot how hard this was. Emily didn't help? Layla shook her head. She vanished. Left me a note and 2 onesies. Charming Ivy's innocent, just like Mia was, I said. She looked at me. Do you hate me? I didn't blink. No, really. I don't feel anything. She nodded slowly. That's worse. At midnight, I walked past the guest room. The door was cracked open. Layla sat on the bed, rocking Ivy. She was crying, quiet, barely audible, but I heard. I always did. I walked away. The next morning, she looked exhausted. Sleep okay? I asked. She nodded. Yeah, you're a bad liar. She poured coffee. Old habits. I sat at the table. I need you to take Mia to her music class today. Okay, bring Ivy. Try not to forget one of them. She half smiled. I'll manage. You sure? I used to juggle college and 2 jobs, she said. I can handle this. You dropped one of those jobs because of Emily. I thought I loved her. I looked at her. Did you? She paused. I don't know. I think I loved the version of her that needed me. And the version of me, you were safe, kind, steady. I nodded, and none of that was enough. I didn't deserve it. I still don't, I said. She lowered her eyes. No. Later that week, she burned the spaghetti. Mia wrinkled her nose. What's that smell? Disappointment, I said. Layla groaned. I'm trying. You're doing great, I said dryly. Only 2 minor disasters today. Threw a towel at me. Shut up. Mia laughed, said a bad word. That's not a bad word, I said. It is if she says it like that. Mia giggled. Layla got better, more organized, quieter. She folded Mia's clothes. Sang lullabies to Ivy and never once complained out loud. But at night I still heard. Her, the silent sobbing, the way she talked to Ivy like she was confessing sins. I didn't interrupt. I didn't comfort. I let her carry it. Why haven't you fired me? She asked one evening. I looked up. You want to be fired? No. Then why ask? Because I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. I leaned forward. This isn't punishment, Layla. It feels like it. That's because guilt's doing its job. She looked at me carefully. You planned this, didn't you? I didn't answer. You brought me here to see everything I gave up. You gave it up before you even had it, I said. She nodded. Good. Good. Do you think I'll ever feel normal again? I don't know. I said, do you? She hesitated. Some days I forget. And the other days, I remember everything I ruined. I didn't smile. That's the price. Mia fell asleep on my chest later that night. Layla watched from the doorway. She called me Mom this morning. She did. I didn't correct her. She misses her real one. She never had one. Layla stepped closer. You know, what hurts most? What? She looks at you the way I used to. I held Mia tighter. Difference is, she means it. Layla didn't speak. She just nodded and walked away. I looked down at Mia safe, loved, whole, and beside her. Ivy stirred in her bad sea. 2 kids, 2 paths, and 1 truth. I had everything Layla thought she took from me. But it was never hers to begin with. It was almost midnight. The house was quiet. Mia was asleep. Ivy too. I was washing the last mug when I heard the chair scrape behind me. Layla sat at the kitchen table, elbows on the wood, head low. You okay? I asked, drying my hands. No, I turned. Something wrong with the baby. She whispered, It's me. I leaned against the counter. That's not new. She looked up, eyes rimmed red. I need to say something. Say it. I was selfish, she said. I didn't think I'd lose you both. I didn't answer. I thought I could have everything, she continued. Emily, you, the illusion? I didn't think it'd explode. Didn't explode? I said calmly. It rotted, she nodded slowly. I kept replaying the moment. You looked at me like I was a stranger. You were? I wasn't trying to destroy you. You succeeded anyway. Layla swallowed. Emily's gone. I know. No, I mean gone, she said. She's not coming back, I called. Texted. She blocked me. I raised an eyebrow. So now the mess is all yours. Ivy is mine, she whispered. But the mistake is too. I pulled out a chair and sat across from her. I loved her, she said. Not the way I loved you, but something twisted. I think I just wanted to feel seen, and I was invisible. She said quickly, you were too good, too stable. I didn't know how to handle real love. Looked her in the eye. So you burned it. She wiped her cheek. I deserve everything you've made me feel. I didn't make you feel anything, I said. That's just karma doing its job. She took a shaky breath. I still love you. Didn't flinch. She leaned forward, Ethan. I love you, no, I said. You love the memory of what I gave you. I'm not that person anymore. Neither am I. She reached for my hand. I didn't move. I missed the way you looked at me, she whispered. I missed the man who looked at you that way, I said. But he died. Her face fell. Don't say that. It's true, I said. He died the day you picked my sister over him. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I would take it all back if I could. But you can't, I said. The beauty of consequences. She pressed her palm flat on the table. What do you want me to do? Nothing? Nothing? She echoed. You don't get to fix this. I want to. You want to feel less guilty? I said. Not the same. She stared at me. So that's it? That's it? No second chance? There was a first one, I said. You used it to sleep with Emily? She looked away. I leaned forward. You know what's funny? What? You were right about one thing? Which part? I was the safe choice? She nodded, but now I said I'm just safe from you. Silence. She stood up slowly. I'll leave tomorrow, if that's what you want. You'll stay. Until Ivy's set up. Then we'll find you your own place, somewhere you can start again. You'd help me do that? For Ivy, not for you. She nodded. I understand, I stood too. I don't hate you, Layla. She looked shocked. You don't? No. Then, what do you feel? Free. She didn't say another word. Just walked out of the kitchen. I sat back down, staring at the empty table. She had apologized. She had cried. She had begged. But I felt nothing, not anger, not pity, just closure, and that was enough. I found someone, I told Layla over breakfast. She looked up from Ivy's cereal bowl. Someone? A full-time nanny? Oh, she starts next Monday. Layla blinked. Right, we'll be paid through the end of the week. She nodded. Understood. No drama? No, she said softly. I knew this was coming. Ivy will be fine. I've already arranged care for her too. She bit her lip. So this is goodbye. It's his transition. She stirred. Her coffee? You always were good with soft exits. I'm not angry anymore, I said, but I'm not yours anymore either. She looked down. I never really had you. No, I said. But I wanted you to. Later that day, she folded the last of Mia's pajamas. You don't have to do that, I said. I want to. You don't owe me anything. I owe you everything, she said. I'm not keeping score. She sat on the edge of the couch. She loves you, Mia. She's mine. And Ivy, she's yours, I said. But she's welcome. Here when it's right, Layla nodded. I appreciate that. I'm not doing it for you. I know. I paused. You ready for your place? It's not much, but it's mine. You'll do fine. She smiled faintly. You sound sure? You survived this long? I didn't think I would, but you did. Friday came. She packed quietly.
No long speeches.
No lingering. Mia stood by the door, hugging her stuffed unicorn. Where's she going? She asked. To her new home, I said. Why? 'Cause she finished her job? Did she get fired? No, I said. She graduated. Mia looked thoughtful. Can I say goodbye? I nodded. Mia walked up to Layla. You made my pancakes too brown? Layla laughed. I know, but you were nice to Ivy. Layla knelt. You're a really good big sister, Mia. Not her sister. You feel like one. Mia shrugged. I hope she doesn't cry without me. Layla hugged her. Me too. Then Mia ran to me, arms wide. I lifted her into the air, spinning just once. She giggled. You always win the hugs. It's because I cheat. Layla stood by the door. With Ivy in her arms? Can I say one more thing? Sure, you saved me. Not just with a roof, but by making me face myself. I nodded. That was the goal. She adjusted Ivy's blanket. Do you think I'll ever deserve peace? Already do, I said. You just have to believe it. She looked at me one last time. Goodbye, Ethan. Goodbye, Layla. The door closed, and I felt. Nothing, not emptiness, a pain, just stillness. I turned to Mia, hungry, starving. We made grilled cheese, burnt the first one, laughed over the second. She wore her crone at dinner. Ivy's old bib is a cape. Daddy, she said, can we build a fort tonight? Absolutely. We stacked pillows and sheets until the living room was a kingdom. She crawled inside. This is our castle.
Who's?
The queen, Mia King. Still Mia Fair? She laid on my chest. You're my favorite person. You're mine too. She traced my shirt with her finger. Are we a real family? The realest? She looked up. Even without a mom? I hugged her tighter. Family isn't about who left. About who stayed. She smiled. Then we're perfect. After she fell asleep, I sat on the couch with a cup of tea. The silence wasn't heavy anymore. It was calm, peaceful. I thought about everything I'd lost and everything I'd found, Layla. It didn't destroy me. She revealed me. Revenge didn't heal me. Love did. But not the kind I once chased. The kind that sat in unicorn pajamas, snoring softly. Under a pillow for it, my family, my rules, my life. I held the envelopes in my hand, thumbs pressing against the paper like it might dissolve. 2 names, 2 ghosts. Emily, Layla. Jordan leaned against the post office wall, arms crossed. You sure you want to do this? I'm not doing it for them. You doing it for you? For Mia, he raised an eyebrow. How does mailing letters to your ex and your sister help her? 'Cause I'm finally releasing the weight I've been carrying, he nodded. Then do it. I walked up to the counter, slid the letters to the clerk, stamped and sealed. Said she took them without a glance, dropped them in the bin, and that was it. Jordan clapped my shoulder. How do you feel? Light. Back home, Mia was coloring on the floor. She looked up. Where'd you go? Post office boring? Super boring? I said. But necessary. Sit. I did what? Are you drawing? Our house looks amazing. That's you, she said, pointing to a blob with glasses. I look good. That's me. I'm holding a cat. We don't have a cat. She shrugged. We could... Maybe. One day, she leaned her head against my shoulder. Smell like coffee. Always. Are you happy? I looked down at her. Yeah, I think I am. She nodded. Good. I like when you smile. I kissed the top of her head. I smile because of you. That night, after brushing her teeth and tucking her in, she held out her hand. Story? No book tonight, just words. Okay, so I sat beside her bed. There once was a man, I began, who thought his whole world was perfect. Was it no? I said. But he didn't know that yet. What happened? Someone he loved betrayed him. That's sad. It was. But it woke him up. To what? To who he really was. She smiled. Then what? He met a little girl. Was she loud? Very, I laughed. And messy. And wild. And smart. She sounds amazing. She was, and then the man realized he didn't need anything else. She closed her eyes. I like this story. I do too. After she fell asleep, I walked back to the kitchen, pulled a glass of water, sat at the table, breathed. It hit me, then the letters weren't goodbye, they were acknowledgments. I didn't hate Layla anymore. I didn't hate Emily either. They helped break me. But they also helped rebuild me, and I wasn't writing to hurt them. I wrote to say thank you. Dear Layla, thank you for breaking my heart. Because of you, I found something real. I hope you do too. Dear Emily, you hurt me in ways I didn't think possible. But you taught me that family isn't just blood. It's who stays, who chooses you. I sent those words into the world not expecting replies. That was the point. Freedom doesn't come from forgiveness. It comes from release. The next morning, Mia found me in the kitchen. You look different, she said. I feel different. Did you dream? No. I let go. She tilted her head. Of what? The stuff that hurt. She wrapped her arms around my waist. I like you like this. I knelt. Me too. Later that afternoon, Jordan called. You sound lighter, he said. I mailed them. I figured no regrets. None. Not one. He paused. That's redemption, man. I think it is. I'm proud of you. Thanks. Oh, and Mia told my kid that your house has a magic fort. It does. Of course it does. I ended the call and walked to the living room. Mia had built a new fort. Bigger than the last. The sign that read, No sad people allowed. Can I come in? Oh, only if you're happy. I smiled. I am. She lifted the blanket flap, then welcome home. And just like that, I was.